She made it.
I made it. Had to restart my laptop.
Okay, good evening and welcome, Nevada Camera Club members and guests, to the Nevada Camera Club Electronic Image Competition for September 2025, even though we had to move it to October. In the way of reminders, we hope that our members who are planning to attend the fall picnic will join us this Saturday at Floyd Lamb Park. Guests are welcome to come with the members. Please come ready to have fun. There will be all kinds of games that we have to play, and we're looking forward to see everybody. The weatherman is cooperating beautifully. We thank our competition staff for this evening, which includes setup assistants from Stephen Cupp, Craig Hicks, Linda Hicks, and Mary Sheets. The announcer is Linda Hicks. Projectionist is Stephen Cupp. Our scorekeeper this evening is Mary Sheets, and our merit recorder is Juliana Stratton. Our judges this evening: in Chair 1, we have Clayton Fox. In Chair 2, Janice Phillips. In Chair 3, Gary Galvin. In Chair 4, Steve Amelia. In Chair 5, Mike Chapman. And hopefully we'll have Chair 6, Harry Gooman. 32 members entered 90 images in 40 unique categories this evening. For those with live mics, please turn off your cell phones. Judges, with your comments, please remember to include a strength as well as a suggestion for improvement. And now here's your Nevada Camera Club Electronic Image Competition for September 2025. I would like to start with judges 1, 2, and 4, please. We're starting with abstract, intermediate color, inevitable. And I think I said 1, 2, and 5, but I meant 1, 2, and 4. Scores? 877. Comment?
I'll go ahead and comment. Intermediate category. It's a good try. I gave it an 8. I think it has some strong potentials, but there needs to be just a bit of improvement.
The image received a 22. It was the only image in this category. Same judges for intermediate monochrome abstract, solar ceiling. Scores? 888.
Yeah, I'll take this one. I like it. It's black and white. It's got some nice contrast going on there. I like the lines with the one pole coming straight out of the corner at you, and the lines going across. It just has its a good, pleasing image.
Image received a 24 and was the only image in the category. Judges 3, 4, and 5, please. We're moving to advanced color abstract, oil and water. Scores? 888.
Okay, I'll take it. Really nice image, really cool. I like the colors and all that. It probably would have scored higher if the corners were more in focus. The top left is a little bit fuzzy. The bottom right's a little bit fuzzy. But the colors and the patterns and all that they work very nicely.
Image received a 24. Twirl of pink. Scores 899.
I gave this a 9. What I like is that the photograph is very well balanced. The corners are kind of blacked out, creating a oblong or an oval shape. I like the way that the colors burst out from the middle to the edges. I think it's a very good job.
Image received a 26. Space Cootie. Scores 878. Comment?
Okay, I'll go. The colors and all that are kind of nice. To me, it's just a little disjointed, a little kind of off center. And, like the previous image was kind of symmetrical and burst out at you. This is just a little disjointed.
Image
But
received a
colored.
23. There are three images to review for placement, starting with Space Cootie, going back 1 to Twirl of Pink, and going back 1 more to Oil and Water. Judges, a 1, 2, or 3, please, for Oil and Water. 2, 2, 2. Twirl of Pink. 1, 1, 1. So the judges have chosen Twirl of Pink for first, in second, Oil and Water, and in third, Space Cootie. Judges 1, 2, and 3, please. We're moving into Advanced Monochrome Abstract, Mesquite Dunes. Scores 888.
Well, I'm not exactly sure if this fits an abstract, but it's very nicely rendered. The exposure is nice and everything, but I'm not seeing an abstract interpretation or creative aspect in this particular photo. I think it would have been stronger if they would have maybe taken and looked for something with some abstract patterns within the sand there and concentrated on that. But we've got too many elements working here, foreground, middle ground, and then the background there to really bring it in as a, but it is nicely rendered.
Okay, the image received 24 was the only image in the category. Same judges, please, for master color abstract, patterned pulse. Scores? 887.
I like the idea that you're trying to conceive in this image. I think it would have got a higher score if you just took more of a section of this image, because the top upper right, the brown area doesn't really add to it, or the bottom where all the white, heavy bands of white should have been cropped out and maybe just focus on some smaller area like the upper left, and that would really be abstract and it would make a big improvement.
Yep. That's exactly my observation. Also, was the upper right-hand corner there kind of just was incongruous with the remainder of the image.
The image received a 23 and was the only image in the category. Hi, Harry. Welcome. You're judge number 6, chair 6.
Yeah.
Okay, we're moving on to advanced color animal and pets with judges 1, 4, and 5. Hoverfly. Scores? 998.
Yeah, I can speak to this. Very good. Very, very, very good image. Macro shots are not easy to get, especially if the bug is moving. And even though it's not completely in focus all the way across, the effort that you took needs to be applauded, along with the colors. The yellow in the background against the dark color of the bug really stands out. Good job.
Image received a 26. Striking a pose. Scores? 889.
I'm the 9 on this one. I like very much this hawk. I think that it's well situated in the frame. I like the background, which makes the bird pop out. for improvement. I would not have, I would hope to have gotten the entire tail of the bird in the picture.
Image received a 25. Friend at the park.
Linda, is this advanced still?
It is. Scores? 878.
Yeah, I'll take it. Nice lighting on the rabbit. It's kind of cool. It's late afternoon with the shadow going up there. The thing that drew my score down was the entire background, foreground, sideground, everything is fuzzy and kind of muted except for the rabbit. So it looks like the rabbit was just kind of randomly placed there on another picture. It's probably, I'm thinking, you know, Lightroom or something like that, where you blur the background and it blurred everything. So it just doesn't jive.
Image received a 23. Judges, you have 3 images to review for placement, starting with friend at the park, going back 1 to striking a pose, and going back 1 more to hoverfly. Judges, a 1, 2, or 3, please, for hoverfly. 1, 1, 2. Striking a pose. 2, 2, 1. And friend at the park. 3, 3, 3. So the judges have chosen hoverfly for first and striking a pose for second. We'll do judges 2, 3, and 6 this time as we move into creative. We'll start with beginner color creative. I spy another rock. Scores? 7, 8, 7. Comment?
So
I think I see
I
where the
can-
photographer this is a beginner category. I see what photographer's trying to do something with a frame and a frame and the circle and put that in there to kind of look for a creative way to bring out the lone little a rock sticking up there. What I think the would improve the image was to get rid of maybe some of that sky and everything like that, and really use, since there's a creative effort here, take and just concentrate on the shapes of the sort of the circle within there, and then the background mountains and everything like that are not adding to the image.
Image received a 22. Lovelock.
Can you repeat the title again?
Lovelock.
And Linda, we're still in beginner, is that correct?
That is correct.
Thank you.
Scores? 8, 8, 7.
So I can speak to it. I think there's a lot of different things going on. I mean, there is a lock. There are several locks in there, but it takes a while to actually get to understand where the locks are. So if there was a little bit more clarity on the title and the subject, that they were matching, that they would actually be helpful to the image.
Image received a 23. There are 2 images to review for placement, starting with Love Lock and going back 1 to I Spy, Another Rock. Judges, a 1 or a 2, please, for I Spy, Another Rock. Scores? 2, 2, 2. So the judges have chosen Love Lock. Same judges, please, for intermediate color creative, Evinrude. Scores? 7, 8, 8.
If I can, for an intermediate, I think this is an excellent image. The the insect is actually very well in focus. The head and eye, and I mean, even though ends of the wings are probably not, but what could actually improve this image is by cropping it tighter, because the background elements, they're very bright and too much. They distract from the insect itself.
Image received a 23 and was the only image in the category. Judges 1, 4, and 6, please, for advanced color creative, Kids Magical Day on the Beach.
What judges do you say, Linda?
1, 4, and 6, please. Scores? 9, 9, 8.
Yeah, I'll talk to it. Wonderful color, wonderful rule of thirds placement of the child, I assume, and the shadow is great. I'm not really sure what else you could have done to improve this. Good job.
Image received a 26. Tulip. Scores? 8, 8, 7.
I'll speak to that. I think the image overall is actually pleasing. The colors are pleasing. My eye goes to the center. A lot of times that is the focal point inside in a flower. And that area, I, I don't want to hazard a guess on what it is called. I mean, I think I know what it is called, but the middle part is out of focus.
Image received a 23. Judges, you have 2 images to review for placement, starting with Tulip and going back 1 to Kids' Magical Day on the Beach. Judges, a 1 or 2, please, for Kids' Magical Day. Scores, 1, 1, 1. So the judges have chosen Kids' Magical Day on the Beach. Same judges, please, for Master Monochrome Creative, Mission San Miguel Archangel. Scores, 8, 9, 8.
I gave it a 9. I like this. I love the kind of the grittiness on it. I love the processing that you did on it. And while it's not symmetrical, it works being not symmetrical with the big agave over there on the right side. The statue looks like it's pretty much almost dead center in the archway, which is nice. I just love the colors and the contrast and the bricks and everything. Good shot.
Image received a 25 and was the only image in the category. We're down to documentary, and I'd like to start with judges 4, 5, and 6 for advanced color documentary, Flight of the Birds. Scores, 8, 9, 8.
I like the image because I think it's important that the photographer has included the buildings kind of at the angle that they are. Shows you where the birds are coming from. And up at the top, you wonder where they are going. There's something to see in every corner of the picture. It's a good job.
Image received a 25. Popping the question. Same judges for this, 4, 5, and 6. Scores, 878.
That's from a composition standpoint first, and the color palette. It's interesting, and uh, the uh, the position of where the couple is in relation to everything else. I think it's the colors are fine and focus is good. It, the uh, the lady is actually seems to be quite surprised, so they've captured the moment.
Image received a 23. Boxing.
Remind me again, we're in documentary?
We are in documentary, yes. Scores? 898.
That's a good image. I like that. You were obviously very close to this. You probably got a little bit of that sweat knocked on you. That's a good image. I like this. It's could have been a little bit sharper, maybe. But the action is good. You can see the sweat coming off of the guy, or hopefully not spit where he just got hit. Good shot.
Image received a 25. Judges, there are 3 images to review for placement, starting with boxing, going back 1 to popping the question, and going back 1 to flight of the birds. Judges, a 1, 2, or 3, please, for flight of the birds. Scores? 221. Popping the question. Scores? 333. And boxing. Scores? 112. So the judges have chosen boxing for first and flight of the birds for second. Judges 2, 3, and 6, please, for advanced monochrome documentary, Chinese Detention Center, Angel Island. Scores? 897.
And
Well,
the seven. So, okay. I will go ahead if you're ready.
I was going to say I was the high score in the documentary here. This is a strong photograph for a documentary because we've established the scene. It's got immediate impact. I can see the story here, the leading lines going up to the graded window in the background, the empty chair sitting there, and the accoutrements of the people who are uh, living here. Is telling a story. And it's a black and white, adds to the sort of the grittiness of of the experience here. So I see a story here, and I thought the impact and the composition and the exposure were all working are all working well here.
Image received a 24 was the only image in the category. Same judges, please, for beginner color nature wildlife. Lioness R&R. Scores? 989.
I
I'd
think
say
that
for a beginner, this is an exceptional image. Obviously, there can be improvements in cropping. That little branch on the bottom right, you could actually do something with it. But from angular line going through at an angle, and the line is sitting over there, pretty much everything is in focus. You can actually see the face, and I can't really pick too many problems with it.
Image received a 26 and was the only image in the category. Judges 2, 4, and 5, please, for advanced color nature wildlife. Diggerby on lavender. Judges 2, 4, and 5. There we go. Janice, I see your fingers, not your number. 999.
That's all you need to know on that one. 999, 27. Good job on this one. You can see all the little fur details, the fuzz on the flower. Very good job.
Image received a 27. Mom, mom, mom. Scores? 999.
I like
beautiful
the fact that there are
image.
3 animals.
Mhm.
I like the fact that there's enough of their environment around them so that you can see how they actually live and where they live. I'm always tempted to get real close and just take a picture of maybe the baby or something, but this is a better way to go, I think, on this picture, especially with the long tail of the mother hanging down.
Yeah, and mom just has that look on her face like, please get me out of here.
Image received a 27. The hatchling. Scores? 888.
Looks like Little Finland to me. You have good sharpness on this, the good color at the end of the day. Just wish there was some clouds or something, a little bit more color in the sky. It's a beautiful place to shoot, but it's hard to shoot because if it's just a blue sky, it just kind of leaves that blank. But still, very nice image.
Image received a 24. Water buffalo. Scores? 899.
I think what this tells is the story of an old bull at the end of his life, abandoned by the tribe, missing an eye. The birds still like him, though. Nice reflections.
Image received a 26. Untitled. Scores? 888.
This is a really nice composition and really nice capture, and sure been a lot of nice macro images tonight. The only reason I couldn't give it a 9 is because the lighting on the flowers is bright. And so if it was like the opposite, there's more light on the bee than on the flowers, get a higher score, but really nice image.
Image received a 24. Hummingbird landing. Scores? 899.
Yeah, I like this. I like the color in the glass on the right there. The bird, I love the toe just barely touching the plate down there. A little bit of flap. The eye is crystal clear on this thing. Very nice image, and oddly enough, because of the blue sky, this stands out.
Image received a 26. Judges, you have 4 images to review for placement, starting with hummingbird landing, going back to water buffalo, going back to mom, 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 and going back 1 to Diggerbee on lavender. Would you like to see those again, judges?
Sure.
Okay, so Diggerbee on lavender, mom, 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 water buffalo, and hummingbird landing. Judges, a 1, 2, 3, or 4, please, for Hummingbird Landing. Scores 442. Water Buffalo. Scores 333. Mom, Mom, Mom. Scores 111. And Diggerby on Lavender scores 224. So the judge, bless you, the judges have chosen Mom, Mom, Mom for first. In second is Diggerby on Lavender. In third, we have Water Buffalo. Got it. Okay, for Master Nature Wildlife, I would like judges 3, 4, and 6, please. Rufous-tailed hummingbird. Harry, you back with us? There we go.
Once I'm done sneezing and
Master Color Nature Wildlife. Scores 888.
so the hummingbird is shot very well. The eyes, the tail, the beak. There's like motion in the wings. It would be nice to actually have a context, whereas the hummingbird going, what is it looking at? A flower or something else? That would actually make it stronger.
Image received a 24. Wingsy.
This you say is master, right?
Correct.
Right, okay. Scores 788.
Yeah, this is a nice capture. It's hard. It's so hard to get these little buggers to sit still to take a picture. I probably would have got a higher score if it wasn't for the bright light on the tail and all that. It's
Yeah.
a little bit overshot. But otherwise, damn, good shot, good reflexes on your part. Plus, there's looks like there's a little pollen on his legs.
Mhm.
So just toned it down a little bit, would have done better.
Image received a 23. Judges, you have 2 images to review for placement, starting with Wingsy and going back 1 to Rufous-tailed hummingbird. Judges, a 1 or a 2, please, for the Rufous-tailed hummingbird. Scores 221. And for Wingsy, scores 112. So the judges have chosen Wingsy. Same judges, please, for master monochrome nature wildlife, Stormy Night. Scores? 878.
I think the black and white here has got good tonality through it. The clouds have interest all the way through, and definition. So that was my observation on that. That clouds as a subject were nicely rendered.
Image received a 23 and was the only image in the category. Let's move on to seeing some people. We will be starting with advanced color people and judges 2, 5, and 6, please. Day at the pool. Scores? 988.
I gave the high score. Even though it's a nice, really nice people shot. I mean, the lighting on her face, when you compare the lighting on her hair and her arm and her pool, is just fantastic. I mean, that's the kind of, lighting that you want on a person's face, and her eyes are just mesmerizing. And I like her expression. I like the angle of her head. I just think it was a really nice capture.
Image received a 25. Hard Life.
Can you repeat the title, please?
Hard Life.
Life. Okay.
Scores? 999.
I think the picture makes an immediate impact. Everything is in good focus. I like the hat. I like the colors of the shawl. And I even like the city view behind. Nice job.
Image received a 27. Judges, there are 2 images to review, starting with Hard Life and going back 1 to Day at the Pool. Judges, a 1 or 2, please, for Day at the Pool. Scores? 212. So the judges have chosen Hard Life. Judges 2, 4, and 5, please, for master color people. Twins in Vogue. Scores 888.
Yeah, this is a nice image. Well lit for up in the front. Um, nicely cropped all the way around. You got a little bit of space on all the sides. The kind of looks like stormy cloud in the back. Kind of dulls the back, make it look good. It's a nice image. Very good. Very well done.
Image received a 24. Enjoying paradise. Scores 888.
It's a beautiful image. I'd love to be there. I mean, beautiful waterfalls. Um, even though it's a people shot, the focus doesn't seem to be mainly on her. And I think if you'd have cropped it in half, it toward the middle, closer to where she is, and if she was doing something, more expressive and fun, like throwing up the water with her hands or something, would make it a little bit more interesting.
Image received a 24. Judges, you have 2 images to review for placement, starting with Enjoying Paradise and going back 1 to Twins in Vogue. Judges, a 1 or 2, please, for Twins in Vogue. Judges 1, 2, pardon me, 1, 3, and 6, please, for Master Monochrome people. Here come the rebels. Scores 889.
I'm the nine. I think it had immediate impact. The number 64, the eye goes on him and directly to his face and the expression, and then the rest of the team is supporting him. So I thought that was actually very good composition.
Image received a 25 and was the only image in the category. Same judges, please, as we move into photojournalism. We'll be starting with advanced color photojournalism, Bad Hair Day on the Nile. Scores 889.
I like this image. There is a story here, and the title actually is quite appropriate. And the you kind of start thinking about what might be the backstory and what was going on here, and like how did you take it. I thought it just like for the category, it fits fairly well.
Image received a 25. Same judges, same category. Another great dig by Kristen Nuss. Scores 999.
Oh yeah, this image has got a lot of great impact, and it's a simple image because we don't have a distracting background. The net in the background is slightly out of focus, and the whole emphasis is right on her, and we get the emotion, and she's in action. This is a well crafted.
Image received a 27. Judges, there are 2 images to review for placement, starting with Another Great Dig by Kristen Nuss and going back 1 to Bad Hair Day on the Nile. Judges, a 1 or 2, please, for Bad Hair Day on the Nile. Scores 222. So the judges have chosen Another Great Dig by Kristen Nuss. Judges 1, 2, and 3, please, for Master Color Photojournalism. Look out. Scores 999.
I really like this image. I mean, the person in the middle is very sharp. Everyone else is kind of blurred out, so your focus goes right to him. Like his expression. I mean, that ref, the way you captured that ref. I mean, he's comical just watching that part of the image. I think it's a great storytelling image.
Image received a 27 was the only image in the category. Same judges, please. We are to the pictorial category, and we'll start with a beginner color pictorial image called Stoneheart.
Same judges.
Same judges, please. Scores 888.
I like the composition of your image. It's really, really nice to look at. I think some strong things that you could do to is maybe pop the contrast, get the colors to pop a little bit more. And I think that would even make the score higher.
Image received a 24 and was the only image in the category. Same judges, please, for intermediate monochrome pictorial, Corn Creek. Scores? 887.
All right, I'm the 7, and the reason is because this is pictorial category. I think this photo would have done very well in documentary. It's got that great composition and everything like that, but I'm looking for atmosphere and mood, and I think maybe the photographer was trying to go for maybe the loneliness or something like that, or solitude. But I would recommend re-entering this in a documentary category.
Image received a 23 and was the only image in the category. Judges 1, 2, and 5, please, for advanced color pictorial. As the clouds move in. Scores? 899.
I love this image. I always like layered hills like this. What I really like about this one is usually when I see them, the hills are, just aligned at the tops, and you just have the trees, giving it some more perspective and interest in it. And I like the layers of the blues. I mean, the sky, you could have cropped a little bit more, down from the sky, but this is a really nice image.
Image received a 26. Lighthouse. Scores? 899.
I think this is well composed. I like the flowers in the foreground and the grass, the band of rocks there, the sky and the lighthouse. It's great. Good job.
Image received a 26. Fort Gratiot Lighthouse. Scores? 888.
I'll speak to this one. It's a good composed picture. I like the structure. I like what I'm looking at. It just seems that the red roof is a bit oversaturated.
Image received a 24. Glacier Bay. Scores? 888.
I think this is a really nice, very nice composition. I love the reflection in the water, even the way the reflection is. Now, this was a tough one. I kind of would like to just see a little bit more contrast, a little more pop in the black, but really nice image.
Image received a 24. Judges, you have 4 images to review for placement, starting with Glacier Bay, going back 1 to Fort Gratiot Lighthouse, going back 1 to Lighthouse, and going back 1 to As the Clouds Move In. Would you like to see those 4 images again?
Yes.
Okay. As the Clouds Move In, Lighthouse, Fort Gratiot Lighthouse, and Glacier Bay. Judges, a 1, 2, 3, or 4, please, for Glacier Bay. Scores 3, 2, 2. Fort Gratiot Lighthouse. Scores 4, 4, 4. Lighthouse. Scores 3, 3, 1. And As the Clouds Move In, scores 1, 1, 2. So the judges have chosen As the Clouds Move In for first. You have a tie for second between Lighthouse and Glacier Bay. So judges, a 1 or 2, please, for Glacier Bay. 1, 1, 2. So the judges have chosen Glacier Bay for second and Lighthouse for third. Okay, judges 3, 4, and 6, please. We are in Master Monochrome Pictorial, A Twisted Tale. Scores 999.
I don't know. Well, here we got, I see great composition here with the twisted trunk and the texture in there and the textures in the sand going out. And then even though everything is in focus all the way to the back there, and then that beautiful sky coming there with a little twist of light in it there just really pulls your eye from the foreground and up into the background up in the upper left there. So it has nice composition and movement within the within the frame.
Image received a 27. Red Rock Afternoon. Scores? 879.
Well, from a 9 perspective, I'd start the conversation and then we'll hear from 8 and 7. The composition is actually very nice. I mean, there's interest in all the thirds of the image in whichever direction you look at. The clouds are done very well. The blue part is like quite black. The rocks look good. So I like the composition, I like the exposure, and the over general feel of the image is being captured well.
Okay, Lonely Beach. Eight, 9.
All right, this is a really nice image. I wish there were, again, more clouds in the top part of it, but the ones you got in there are nice. It's crystal clear all the way across. I love the little flock of birds. The building is very sharp. The waves are sharp. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to talk a minute because it seems like a lot of images are having these little grid marks on them that are probably done from topaz. I see that a lot on mine if I'm using topaz on blue skies or any kind of skies where it's a solid thing. You see these lot of grid marks on there. Try adjusting the noise a little bit down and look at these before you're submitting them because I don't see anybody grading against those, but it just does kind of take a little bit away from the images.
Image received a 25. Judges, there are 3 images to review for placement, starting with Lonely Beach, going back 1 to Red Rock Afternoon, and going back 1 to A Twisted Tale. Judges, a 1, 2, or 3, please, for Twisted Tale. Scores? 1, 1, 1. Red Rock Afternoon.
Which
Scores? 3, 3, 3. Which leaves 2, 2, 2 for Lonely Beach, and the judges have chosen A Twisted Tale. Judges 1, 3, and 5, please, for advanced color portraiture, Brianna. Scores? 8, 8, 9.
I think it's a really good capture, very nice tonal colors, reflection on her face or light on her face. The only thing that kept me from giving it a 9 was that the top of her hair was cut off, and this is the advanced category.
Image received a 25. Carly in the Waterfall. Scores? 889.
All right, I will speak real quickly on this one here. I'm an 8, and I like the way that the photographer froze the water like that. That really adds to the image. The exposure is just a little too hot on the subject there, and that's what sort of dinged it for me was just the handling of the exposure in the advanced part here, just a little too hot.
Image received a 25. Santa Frank. Scores? 999.
I'll speak to it. I mean, it's super sharp, got clarity. The focal point is right on Santa's face. Good tonal qualities. Just an absolutely great photo.
Image received a 27. Judges, you have 3 images to review for placement, starting with Santa Frank, going back 1 to Carly in the Waterfall, and going back 1 to Brianna. Judges, a 1, 2, or 3, please, for Brianna. Scores 221. Carly in the Waterfall. Scores 333. And Santa Frank. Scores 112. Well, we can tell who's not going to get anything from Santa Frank this year. Santa Frank was chosen for first place with Brianna in second. Judges 2, 4, and 6, please. Excuse me. For master color portraiture, all taped up. Scores 888.
If I can, um, I think the model is photographed extremely well. The lot of clarity. The eyes are very clear. The hair, the lighting is excellent. Uh, I could not get up to 9 because the background I found to be somewhat like the lights and the those seats in the back to be a bit more distracting. If they were not as much competing for space or the attention, then I'd actually move up to 9.
Image received a 24 and was the only image in the category. Same judges, please, for, excuse me, Master Monochrome Portraiture, Contemplating at the Beach. Scores 888.
Yeah, that's a very nicely lit image. I love her pose looking down with the waves kind of crashing in behind her and the focus drops off way behind her. I think it would have scored better if the horizon right there above the horizon wasn't as blown out. It's that kind of distracts or detracts from it.
Image received a 24 and was the only image in the category. Moving on to still life, we'll start with judges 2, 3, and 5, please. For advanced color still life, Mount Mitchell mushrooms.
Linda, you said this is advanced, correct?
Correct.
Thank you, Linda.
Scores 788.
Well, I think that the concept that the photographer was going for with the composition was it was really nice. What would help with the improve the photo would be the exposure on the leaves in the upper left-hand quarter there. They're a little burning out a little bit too much, and then the cropping off the leaves at the right there, and the little bristles at the bottom there. But they're on the right track here really strongly, and if it just the adjustment in the cropping or the framing and the exposure, it worked. This would be it'd have gone to a 9.
Image received a 23. Untitled. Scores 889.
I'm the 9, and I struggled between an 8 and a 9, but what tilted me over is the longer I looked at the photo, the more I liked it. I like the background. I like the fact that the mat is reflected in the water. I like the fact that there are 3 flowers. To me, it just works. It sets a very peaceful mood.
Image received a 25. Judges, there are 2 images, excuse me, to review for placement, starting with Untitled and going back 1 to Mount Mitchell Mushrooms. Try and say that 3 times fast. Judges, a 1 or a 2, please, for Mount Mitchell Mushrooms. 222. So the judges have chosen Untitled. Same judges, please, for Advanced Monochrome Still Life. Untitled. Scores 877.
Well, okay, I'm one of the 7s, and I, I I see the photographer saw a really interesting mask or something like the face there, but it's didn't become the center of attention here. We have this large drum or something. I would go to the right is just robbing the focus point from the mask. So in the still life, would have been stronger if we would have really focused on the mask and composed for that and avoided the this distraction object on the right.
Image received a 22. It was the only image in the category. Judges 1, 2, and 5, please, for Master Color Still Life. Whispers of Petals. Scores 999.
Yeah, I'll talk to it. I think it's a great image. I think the only comment, and the others can correct me, I would have made it just a square image.
Mm-hmm.
Image received a 27. Lace Murex. Scores 889.
a beautiful image. I like the colors of the shell, like the reflection. The reason I didn't give it a 9, because for me, it just doesn't look like it's all sharp. And that's the only reason I brought it down. Otherwise, it's a really great image of the shell.
Image received a 25. Judges, there are 2 images to review for placement, starting with Lace Murex and going back 1 to Whispers of Petals. Judges, a 1 or a 2, please, for Whispers of Petals. Scores 1, 1, 1. So the judges have chosen Whispers of Petals. Stick with the same judges for our first in unclassified, which will be intermediate color unclassified, St. Mary's in the Mountains. Scores 8, 8, 8.
I think this is a good image. It's very well balanced, and the whites are not blown out. Everything is in focus. I think what would make it a 9 is if it was not leaning back. This is trouble that I have whenever I take a picture of a small building or a tall building as well. Although I kind of like the way that it is, because you get an upward view to the cross at the top of the steeple. Good picture.
Image received a 24 and was the only image in the category. Judges 3, 4, and 6, please. For intermediate monochrome unclassified, Floyd Lamb Park. Scores 999.
Oh yeah, this for an intermediate. They've pulled all the stops out here. They're using everything. They've got us. We're sharp all the way around. It's a nicely composed. We have reflections going. The horizon line bisecting the thing doesn't is not really all that distracting. And we've got interesting elements with the reflection of the clouds, the little gazebos up there, and then we're having the Kodak moment here with the leaves framing the picture at the top and on the side. So nice job for an intermediate category. Very nice.
Can I add something?
Sure.
Why are you competing in intermediate?
That's a nice compliment, Harry.
Yeah.
The image received a 27 and was the only image in the category. And this is a great advertisement for our picnic on Saturday, since it's Floyd Lamb Park. Same judges, please, for advanced color unclassified, dragon.
Name the judges again.
This is advanced color unclassified, dragon.
Which are the judges?
Same judges as last time, 3, 4, and 6.
Excellent.
Scores 888.
Yeah, this is a pretty cool image. I like this one. A little bit hot. I think that's why some people graded it down. The head and the wings are a little bit overexposed. It seems like it might be a little bit fuzzy here and there, but for the most part, I think it's really nice. It's nice blur in the background isolating the dragon, and I'd like to see the card that was attached to.
Image received a 24. Morning in the Tetons.
We're in advanced, correct, Linda?
Correct.
Thank you.
Scores 787.
It's a complicated answer. Uh, I mean, the most fun is actually by the mist on the river. And if it was, I'm thinking, what could it be differently? I mean, if you had a bit more room over the mountains, and also looks like some of the trees are not really as sharp as they could be. So mostly compositional
Yeah,
issue.
all right, and I was looking at the real quick. I was looking on my large monitor here. The mountains in the background are just not sharp, and they're really predominant in there. And I would have gone higher if the mountains had been sharp.
I think they were going for like one of those painted scenes in Photoshop.
Yeah.
Image received a 22. Judges, you have 2 images to review for placement, starting with Morning in the Tetons and going back 1 to Dragon. Judges, a 1 or a 2, please, for Dragon. Harry, turn yours around. There we go. 111. The judges have chosen Dragon. Judges 1, 3, and 5, please, for advanced monochrome unclassified, Rise from the Fog. Judges 1, 3, and 5, please. Scores 888.
I'll talk to it. Kind of, I mean, it's a unique capture of the Golden Gate Bridge. But for this, you could have gotten rid of all the spots, sensor spots in the sky.
Image received a 24. Unlatched. Scores 987.
Well, I was the 9. I just loved the tonality, the black and white ism of it, and I can tell that it is unlatched.
I was the 7. I agree with those comments. And I think what brought it down for me was the lighting is a bit uneven. Some of the knobs are blown out. It's too much reflection on them. I think a little more, couple of more shots maybe would have captured a smoother image.
Exactly. I just want to quickly add, because this is one of the stronger images I've seen tonight, just from composition goes, and I'm glad that the photographer was experimenting and saw this, but it just had some technical issues there in the advanced category. But fixing those and bringing that texture out would have really made it pop.
Image received a 24. Judges, there are 2 images to review, starting with unlatched and going back 1 to rise from the fog. Judges, a 1 or a 2, please, for rise from the fog. Scores 221. So the judges have chosen unlatched. Same judges, please, for master color unclassified. Nope, I lied. Judges 1, 3, and 6, please. 1, 3, and 6 for master color unclassified. Andean emerald hummingbird. And Harry, we need you back on camera.
All right. There we are.
Thank you. Scores 898.
You want
I'd start. So I think the hummingbird is actually very clear. The wings are clear, and it just like everything's in focus. In my humble opinion, for it to be a 9, there has to be other context, a flower, a feeder, something like that.
Image received a 25 was the only image in the category. Judges 1, 2, and 3, please. We are down to the club challenge, which this month said to include a sun star. Judges 1, 2, and 3 will start with beginner club challenge. Sunstar at daybreak in Arches National Park.
Linda, you said I'm included in this one, 3?
Yes, you are.
Thank you. Thank you.
Scores? 898.
You're muted, Janice.
I think for a beginner, you did an excellent job. I love your Sunstar. I love the silhouettes of the cliffs. I think it's really beautiful. One little thing I would say over toward the left, there's a little uh, dark spot that you could have cloned out.
Hmm.
But I think you did a really nice job. It's very pleasing image to look at.
Image received a 25. Facing the sun. Scores? 888.
Okay. Well, for a beginner going out and doing this, they're meeting the category and they understood the assignment. That was great. And they found some interesting things. And I thought it was a good composition to take and get down low and use the leaves there to create the burst there. And it's nicely exposed throughout and really fit the challenge nicely for a beginner.
Image received a 24. Judges, you have 2 to review for placement, starting with Facing the Sun and going back 1 to Sunstar at Daybreak in Arches National Park. Judges, a 1 or a 2, please, for Sunstar at Daybreak in Arches National Park. Scores 211. So the judges have chosen Arches National Park's Sunstar. Judges 2, 3, and 6, please, as we move on to intermediate interpretations of our club challenge. Lake Tahoe Sunstar. Scores 887.
I think
So-
as an intermediate that you really, went with the challenge. You can see the Sunstar. I like your composition with the trees. I think if you it brought down the whites, in Photoshop or Lightroom, it would have even brought the star out more. But good try.
May I add something?
Sure.
Okay, so this is actually a very good composition. You have a tree, the water, and everything else. The water obviously there's a little bit of a horizon straightening issue, but from a sun star standpoint, if you had moved your body up and down so that the sun was partially behind the branch, one of the branches or the tree, then you would have actually gotten a smaller star and a lot more sharper star. Because the issues that you're having with too bright a star and too big a star, they would have been compensated by actually finding a corner or an edge.
And the image received a 23. Sunrise on Weir Bridge. Scores? 877.
So I'll start. The bottom half of the image is not really adding too much value. I mean, there is a sun star, it meets the objective of the challenge, but if you just cut off all the half of the image at the bottom and just like focused on the bridge and the star and the sky, it would be a stronger image,
Yeah.
a
Image-
landscape image.
Image received a 22. There are 2 images to review for placement, starting with sunrise on Weir Bridge and going back 1 to Lake Tahoe Sunstar. Judges a 1 or 2 for the Lake Tahoe Sunstar. Scores? 112. So the judges have chosen the Lake Tahoe Sunstar. We are to advanced, and we will have judges 1, 5, and 6 judge this for us. Starting with sun rays. Scores? 887.
So we have a sun star meets the club challenge. The image is struggling to find the balance between a monochrome image and a color image. One or the other would have made it more powerful.
Image received a 23. Little Finland. Scores? 888.
I like the image. It creates to me a mood um, of great desolation, the vastness of the landscape, um, and it's a nice sun star.
Image received a 24. Aspen, Colorado. Scores? 777.
I think the scores speak for themselves more or less. Yes, I guess you could say it is a sun star, but it's more of a sun bright spot in the image, and I mean that kindly. Um, uh, so there. Otherwise, it needs to be more of a sun star, and I would have gotten rid of a lot of the bottom of the image.
Image received a 21. Mushroom Rock Sunstar. Scores? 987.
I'm the 7. Yes, there is a sun star, but if you look at the context of the image, the rock, um, the texture of the rock, and then the sky above, they sort of like the sky is too bright above the sun star. If there could be slightly different way to actually capture it so that just you're getting the star and still the sky is like enough blue enough, that would make it a stronger image.
Image received a 24. Just a peek. Scores? 887.
I'm one of the 8s. I like the composition. I like the brick, if those are bricks on the building. I like the slanting of the roof and the sky and the sun stars. So, 4 elements. I just like the picture.
Image received a 23. Rising sun. Scores? 878.
I'll talk to it. It's an amazing picture. I'll honestly say I don't understand exactly how it was captured or what I'm looking at. And what kept it from a 9, I guess I would say, is this bottom green section here, which seems to conflict with the rest of the image in my mind.
Image received a 23. Train station, Melbourne, Australia. Scores? 877.
So
It's a wild image, but I don't see any sun stars. In a different category would probably score higher.
Image received a 22. Dawn of the Rock Monsters. Scores? 877.
Well, I was the 8, of course. I'll speak to it. It's either posterized sun stars is what we're looking at. To make it a bit better would be to remove that outcropping on the left-hand side. That's just juting out.
Image received a 22. Maine coast. Scores? 887.
So I'll speak. I'm the 7. The image would do better if it was not this big. If you actually just uh, focused on the 1/3 of the left side of the image, there is a sun star, but the rest of the image on the right side is not really contributing that much to the club challenge. I mean, otherwise it's a pleasing image and good composition, and you could actually really enjoy it. But from a sun star standpoint, you could actually just use a shorter part of it.
Image received a 23. Sunburst. Scores? 878.
And so it's a legitimate sun star in the middle of snow-covered trees. Meets the club challenge.
Image received a 23. Sunset on Lake Superior. Scores? 777.
I don't think it meets the club challenge.
Yeah, if I may add, just as a moment here, one of the ways to actually get a star is if you intersect with some horizon or some physical object and have a uh, aperture like f16. I don't think both of those conditions didn't really meet here. So if you want to improve it, the opportunity was there, but your probably settings were not right.
Image received a 21. The crack of dawn. Scores? 877.
Well, I gave it the 8, and there is parts of a sun star in the image. The overall image itself, I think, is fantastic, amazing. That's why I gave it the 8.
Image received a 22. Coastal Smoky Sunset. Scores? 998.
I think it's an amazing picture. The challenge was sun star, not sun stars. Uh, I'm kidding. There's a secondary sun star down near the bottom, which overall the picture is sharp, and you got a great sun star. I love it.
Image received a 26. Sunrise on the road. Scores? 887.
I will first tell you what actually is working very well. The sun and the road is working very well. The rest of the image is not really contributing that much to the challenge. If you were just to take the bottom, like 1/3 of the image where the glow on the road and the sun was shining, that would actually be a lot more powerful image with the sky above it.
Image received a 23. Judges, you had me worried for a while, but you ended up with 3 images to review for placement. Well done. Starting with going back 1 to Coastal Smoky Sunset, going back 9 to Mushroom Rock Sunstar, and going back 2 to Little Finland. Would you like to see those again, since
Yes.
it's been such a long evening? Okay, Little Finland, forward 2 to Mushroom Rock Sunstar, forward 9 to Coastal Smoky Sunset. Okay, judges, a 1, 2, or 3, please, for Coastal Smoky Sunset. Scores? 111. Mushroom Rock Sunstar. Scores? 223. And Little Finland scores 332. So the judges have chosen Coastal Smoky Sunset for first and Mushroom Rock Sunstar for second. Okay, 3 judges who've been just lounging around. It's your turn. And I want to say thank you to all those who entered in the master category tonight. We have the largest number in master club challenges that I ever remember. So we will be starting with judges 2, 3, and 4, Silence Beneath the Sunburst. Scores? Nine, eight, eight.
Well, the Sun Star is crystal clear. That is one of the best one of the night so far. It just seems like the rest of the photograph was just so over processed that kind of actually took away from the star, but it's still a good image.
Image received a 25. Forest Sun Star. Scores? 7, 8, 8.
I'm the low scorer. It's just too bullseye for me for being in a master's class.
Mhm.
I mean, even if you cropped it so it was over to the left or the right, it would have been more impactful.
Image received a 23. Hawaiian Sunburst. Scores? 8, 7, 8.
I like the composition. I like your sun star. I like it's down in the left. But it's the image itself doesn't have a lot of impact.
No, that was me. I'm the 7, and I'm the SOB, but it was like it didn't have an impact. It meets the challenge, but it just didn't for a master. It didn't come to the greenery and everything. It just sort of is is lost.
Image received a 23. Mesa Arch Sunrise. Scores? 9, 9, 8.
Yeah, this image has a lot of impact, with the sunrise or sunset. It's just beautiful colors and, maybe the sun star isn't exactly this kind of sun star you might want to see. It's still a sun star and it's beautiful and it's the main attraction 'cause it's so huge.
I did real quick. I just like to agree with Janice right on the spot. I really the way the light is catching the on the edges of the rocks there really just really helps sell the effect there. It's very nice.
Image received a 26. Rainbow Bridge. Scores? 8, 8, 8.
Yeah, it's a nice image. Nice colors on that. Doesn't seem like it's over processed and all that. Got a sun star up there. It's a good image.
Image received a 24. Guardian of the Star. Scores? 979.
I'll speak. I love this picture. I mean, you got a really sharp, really nice sun star, and it's that little Finland, and you brought out a lot of the, you know, texture and everything in the rocks itself. So you did a nice job.
I was the low score, and the reason I was is because in the master category, for me, the fact that the subject of the foreground here didn't have some sharpness to it, it was just on my monitor here, it looks soft. The rock face itself there.
Image received a 25. Breaking Dawn. Scores? 788.
Yeah, I gave it an 8. I like this. Is very. It's got a nice little soft but sharp sun star going on there. Again, with the blank sky on that, maybe kind of cropped it down a little bit and did a vertical closer to that tree to make it all stand out and kind of eliminate some of the sky. I can see myself standing there having a cup of coffee right now.
Image received a 23. Sparkle Sunstar. Scores? 888.
Well, I was really impressed with the additional star effect coming in there and having the green elements reflected on there. It is an interpretation of the sun star on there, and that was what led it to interesting effect that the photographer captured.
Image received a 24. Judges, you have 3 images to review for placement. Going back 2 to Guardian of the Star. Going back 2 to Mesa Arch Sunrise. And going back 3 to Silence Beneath the Sunburst. Would you like to see those again?
Yes.
Okay, Silence Beneath the Sunburst, Mesa Arch Sunrise, and Guardian of the Star. Judges, a 1, 2, or 3, please, for Guardian of the Star. I was afraid that was 2, 3, 1. This could get interesting. Mesa Arch Sunrise. Scores? 113. And Silence Beneath the Sunburst. Scores?
I screen it.
322. So the judges have chosen Mesa Arch Sunrise for first. In second is Silence Beneath the Sunburst. Nope, correct that. Guardian of the Star is second. And in third is Silence beneath the sunburst. Judges, thank you so much. We appreciate your flexibility in being able to reschedule since we had the internet issue after our storms on Friday. And we also appreciate the fact that Harry was able to join us so that your judging load wasn't quite as heavy. Thank you, competition staff. The results of the competition will be included in the October issue of Focal Expressions, which I will work on really hard tomorrow to get out as soon as possible. I hope to see lots of you at the picnic on Saturday, and we'll have a good time up there at Floyd Lamb State Park. So thank you all and have a good evening.
Thank you, staff.